everybody. Good evening. It's time to get started. Let me just close a few things on my end. Okay. Sorry about that. I have to check the work phone. I have to check the personal phone. All right. So, doing a little bit of multitasking tonight. Obviously, we got Gran Turismo. We got Barcelona tonight with our friends at MPM. But obviously, since I'm in the New York, New Jersey area, I gotta keep an eye on the Knicks right now. It's still pretty early. We're just about to finish the first half. Knicks are like within one, so. They weren't at the races for most of the game so far, so they were able to pull it back a little bit. All right. So, of course, every for most of the races that we're going to be doing in F1, you know. There's usually going to be a race to go with it with our friends at MPM. So, just like with World Endurance, we're doing a league race for Formula 1. Now, this weekend we're at Monaco, but since Monaco is not in Gran Turismo 7, we decided we were going to do Barcelona this week. Of course, Barcelona is not the only Spanish track on the calendar anymore. We now have had to take some evasive action. I got a little bit sketchy with that guy. He's not the one that was messing about on the grass there. He's not one of our normal opponents for MPM races, so had to be a little bit wary. Alright, now let's see if I can get some... Is that track limits? Guess not. $122.7, nice. I'm actually pretty competitive. Not bad. Uh-oh. Because up until that last lap, I was just doing like 124s, 125s, so that's good to know that I can pull out a competitive time. Current best is 122.1. But we'll see how that translates into actual race pace, you know? On the racing line. that lap was ruined, unfortunately. So we don't really have as big a group as we normally do tonight, so maybe that could make me a bit more competitive. I think there's a fellow person streaming right now, so I think some people are trying to get some brownie points for the streamer, trying to get their name out there. The thing is, they don't know that I'm live. Because I was in here before most of these guys. Uh-oh. Big mistake there. It's good that we're getting some pace at the moment, but I do want to get some medium practice in if I can. Oh shoot, track limits. Boo. It's halftime for Nixon Spurs. Wheel spin there. Yeah, provisional pole. This is just free practice, so this doesn't really mean much. But how you doing, Yoni? The current best time is in the 121s. Yeah, this is free practice. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. Doing my best. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna get some practice in on the mediums, you know. We're probably gonna be using this tire tonight, so I might as well get used to it. So the fact that I'm capable of 122.7s on here means that I can have a decent lap. If I get everything correctly, but I don't think we're gonna have any rain. I don't think so. Yeah, there's no rain on the forecast. Alright. Yeah, we got some time to wait until second half. Sorry guys, I'm keeping an eye on basketball for those that are just tuning in. You know, my hometown, they're not my hometown, but my home market is playing right now. We've got the NBA finals. Yep. So, I guess by proxy, I gotta root for the Knicks because, you know, even though I'm a Nets fan, so. Oh, bro, you can't park there. This Peruvian driver is causing a lot of issues. And I think he's trying to like get some clout with one of the other drivers in this lobby because they're streaming on Twitch, not on Twitch, on YouTube. Yeah, it's a weird situation, right? Because obviously I'm rooting for the in-city rival, and from a purely Filipino standpoint, we both teams have Filipinos in there on the rosters, you know, and there's been a real push to get them to play for the our national team. Spurs are facing the Knicks, New York Knicks. Yeah, 125.3. That's. Yeah. I need to be a little bit more sharp on this one. Alright, some of the... Oh, hedgehog. Watch out, hedgehog! Don't let the... Don't let the clouds fool you. We're supposed to have a dry race tonight. I think we felt that way the last time in the last race in Canada. We were just like, "Yo, is this gonna rain?" But then at some point we're just like, "No, it's gonna stay dry." We used to have Monaco. Yeah, I know. I know we had it in Gran Turismo 4. I'm pretty sure we had it in Gran Turismo 4. I don't know about 5 and 6 because I didn't really play 5 and 6. I actually didn't grow up with a PS3, so around that era I was a Wii guy. Oh yeah, the PS2 era street tracks like Tokyo, New York, Seattle. Definitely Seattle will not be coming back. I can tell you that much with the way that layout was, with those crazy ass jumps. Or was it San Francisco that had the big jumps? Monaco was in 5 and 6? Okay. You know what's actually, what's in my back pocket as a potential stream series? You know, because what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a full series, a full season of F1 My Team. But after that though, I want to do, like, Gran Turismo 4 playthrough. Am I confusing Gran Turismo for Grid? No, not necessarily. I know we had like New York, Tokyo, San Francisco, Seattle as different tracks, as street tracks on Gran Turismo 4. And it was either Seattle or San Francisco, one of those two. That layout in Gran Turismo 4, it had like an extremely absurd downhill section, and you're basically jumping. It's like you're jumping off a ramp. So I remember playing it a long time ago, and I was just like, okay, this Polyphony is very much going with like a competitive esport focus for their races. I'm like, this would not fly in modern Gran Turismo. It could be. I mean, they did take a lot of cues. I need to look into it if I was thinking about San Francisco. Which was the one that had the big Alright, hold on a second. I'm gonna go off track and let me look into this. I want to look. Now you got me curious. Seattle. Seattle circuit, Gran Turismo.
I'm just kind of reading it. I'm just reading the description of the Seattle circuit on their wiki.
Give me like 2 seconds. Hold on, I gotta buzz somebody into the building. Okay, should be good now. Sorry about that, guys. Momentary distraction. Great games, yeah, they were arcadey. Very much so. At a time though, I really loved playing them. I had the original Grid on PC. That's how I was playing it. Grid 1, Grid 2, Auto Sport. Those would be fun games to try and replay at one point. Well, I'm gonna figure out which city, Gran Turismo went all the way out. We're going night racing in IndyCar this weekend. Oh yeah, right, I forgot. There should be yeah, if I'm not mistaken, there's supposed to be a race this weekend, no? Oh yeah, they're at Gateway. All right. Completely forgot about that. Cause like I've been so Polo's gonna win this race with a cushion over a whole race win for P2. Yeah, I would not. It's like one of those. I'm gonna have to say it. Like Polo is pretty much like our current day Max or Lewis in IndyCar. It's like you give him 1 inch to make it up, to make up your gap, and he'll take it. You know, it's like he's like inevitable, especially when it comes to street tracks, street and road tracks. So, because I remember there was a time where people like lambasted Alex for being poor on ovals. Right. He'll manage to find a way. You know? He only has 22 wins, only. So, all right, at this point, with what we got here in here in Gran Turismo, we're just waiting for the grid to be finalized. The only reason why I'm thinking we're not starting is because there are some people that have left. Or sorry, there are some people that are not trying to get in, that's supposed to be here, that aren't in. That's my only logic as to why we're not starting yet. Hold on 1 second. Oops. Sorry. Because what I'm thinking is, last call. I'm just waiting on the organizers at this point. We usually take a while, so I'm in no rush.
Give me a second. Yeah, honestly, at this stage, I wouldn't be surprised if Alex wraps up the title again. But the thing is, I don't know who could reasonably challenge him at this stage. You know, there hasn't been like a consistent challenger for him. So. Alright. Anyway, but meanwhile on the F2 side of things, you know, while we're on Kirkwood has been the closest, but Lucas is yet to win. Yeah, and it's not like Malukas. Well, Malukas is still relatively inexperienced. He'll get his time. I think he's still like, even though he's constantly like made his way up. Now he's got a top car with Penske, you know, taking over the Will Power's car. I still kind of feel like he might be a year or two off before we actually see him win a race, Malukas. Kirkwood, yeah, probably would be your best bet. Him, maybe Newgarden. I don't think the Carpenters are gonna be. Yeah, he needs a win to elevate his consistency. Yeah, that's the thing, right? If we can get a driver that'll win constantly, you know, it's like the best way I could describe it is like the Hamilton years, you know. It would always be like predominantly him, but then you would always you would get like the odd winner here and there, but Palou would just be near the top, consistent enough to just run away with it points wise, you know. If he's not winning the race, he's either like he's usually top 5. In a way, there's a lot more. Yeah, of course. There's a lot more variance. There's a lot more variance in the cars, obviously, you know. But even then, you can't really say that IndyCar is a spec series. You know, there's the setup, the management, the data. With IndyCar, you got a top team really does matter. You know, that's why you got Andretti, Penske, Ganassi, those big three. You know, even though the cars are quote unquote equal, you know, spec wise, they still got their quirks. They still got their know-how that really propels them to the top. You know. Yeah, exactly. Makes me wonder. Now that really does make me wonder what would have happened if the McLaren contract situation didn't go so belly up like it did a couple of years ago. You know, where Alex could have been. Imagine if that whole contract dispute ended a little bit differently, you know. Where would Alex be? Where would IndyCar be? Where would McLaren be? You know. I honestly feel like if McLaren won that lawsuit, there's a possibility we could have seen Alex like very sniffing. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because what would that have done to what would that have done to Oscar Piastri? You know, it makes you really wonder about like the domino effects and, you know, the ramifications of it, right? It's like the old meme, you know, you move one chair and then this happens. So yeah, it really does make you wonder. It got to the point where one time the stream has long been rotated out. It's no longer available. It's lost to time. But there was one F1 Manager playthrough that I did many years ago where I did McLaren. I did a McLaren playthrough. This is before my team was, like, a custom team was available. I actually did it with Lando and Alex. Had them on the team. You know, I got rid of Daniel Ricciardo, put Palou in, and boom. So if Piastri wasn't there, Palou moves to McLaren. IndyCar most likely, yeah. Because at this point, you know, because I know, I felt like Zach Brown was kind of treating us as a. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, maybe I got the ruling wrong. But like, it was just such a mess that it kind of burned that bridge. So it's like the win on paper, but the moral victory, you know. So, oh yeah, the $12 million. I remember that. But it really does make you wonder, so. You know, it'd be funny if somebody actually modded that into F1 Manager, because I think in the most recent F1 Manager in the 2024 game, Palou is in there as a reserve driver. You know, so you could feasibly you could actually hire him in the game. He is in the vanilla game. But it'd be funny if somebody modded it so it's like, as a penalty, if you signed him, you gotta pay $12 million as like a sign-on fee from his agent or something. I really I wish the F1 Manager series had better legs on it. You know, it was fun for the time, but it just wasn't selling enough. It wasn't growing enough. You know. I feel like it could have been better. Palou is gonna. Oh yeah, absolutely. Who has the most wins in IndyCar? AJ Foyt has the most. All right, so that's AJ Foyt on 67 wins. Scott Dixon is number 2, 58 wins. Mario Andretti, 52. Will Power, 44. And Michael Andretti, 42. Okay. So yeah, Alex has a long way to go. Yeah, Scott Dixon, then Will Power, amongst current drivers. Yeah, he's got a long way to go, but. Bear in mind, Dixon, both Scott and Will had like years of dominance. You know, they had their long spells as champion, as dominant forces. So, oh yeah, definitely. Because I don't see Alex. I don't see a road into F1 for Alex at this stage. So yeah, I think he's gonna be around for a while. And credit to IndyCar, it's one of those series where you can have a decent career into your 40s. You know, like look at Scott, look at Will. Who else are the old heads of IndyCar right now? I think Graham Rahal is up there in years too, no? Graham Rahal. Shoot. Because when I think of like the older drivers, they typically just Newgarden. Oh yeah, Newgarden's been around for a minute too. I don't want to say Rossi. No, Rossi's not. He's experienced, but not like last legs. Right Hunter. See, I don't want as much as Ray, Sato, and Castroneves, as experienced as they are, they're not full-time drivers. You know, they really only come out for the 500. I'm talking about like full-time drivers. You know. So, all right. I'm pretty sure we had our 5-minute warning like 10 minutes ago. All right. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, those are the two experienced guys. So, and even then, like, some of them are. I don't think IR28 was done below much. Yeah, because I honestly feel like Polo has probably about 5 to 10 years left in this sport at the very least. I think he's gonna be in there for a long time, especially if he keeps up this amount of dominance. You know, he's not gonna feel compelled to leave. You know, maybe he might. The hybrid's still there, yeah. And besides, IndyCar is pretty open enough to the point where you could feasibly do other series too. You know, Dixon does do some endurance racing here and there. I don't know who else does IMSA and WEC amongst the current IndyCar grid. I know Dixon does race every now and again. Colton Herta did some races as well. I don't think Alex Palou did any races in IMSA. He might have. I think he did the Rolex. Yeah. Yeah, I know Alex has done it, but he's done 12 hours of Sebring. So I don't know if he's a full-time. Because some of these, Rosenquist has done IMSA. Yeah, but I don't know if they're like full-time competitors, you know? Sometimes they just get drafted in for like the Rolex or... Yeah, Custer Neffes was full-time for Penske. Oh right, I forgot that. Yeah. So... But yeah, it's pretty common for like some of these, for IndyCar drivers and Juan Pablo, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's very common for some of these drivers in other single-seater series to be competing in endurance in between rounds, you know? I know like half of the Formula E grid is in WEC right now, you know, predominantly in the hypercar categories. I think some of them are also in IMSA, right? I think Rene Rast drives in IMSA. Maybe Robin Friends as well. I have a bunch of... Fun fact, I do have a bunch of, like, Formula E autographs in my, in one of my shelves here. There's too many, yeah. Alright. I think this is our cue to finally start qualifying. Oh, good lord. So what I'm gonna do is after the qualifying session, we're gonna take an ad break. All right, so just a forewarning for anybody coming in. There will be an ad break after qualifying. Okay. So in the meantime, though, it's a 15-minute qualifier. Fastest speed gets us at the top of the grid. Now, some of these guys I've never raced before. Some of these guys are like one-off entries, but Bacon Dance, Azriel, Snipes, Algie, Zach, Hedgehog. These are people that I've raced against on a consistent basis across other MPM events, so I know how to race against them. They're much faster than me pace-wise, but all I really want to do is try to finish like in the middle of the pack. That's really my goal. So, but remember, I finished I've last round in Canada, I finished like what, P4? What did I finish last time out? I finished P6. Okay. I finished P6 just by not dying. You know? All I did was just finish the race. I finished 4 laps down, but I still finished P6, so... Alright. So real quick, put the brake balance on the rear. Actually, no. I'm gonna keep it neutral for quali, and then for the actual race I'll put it down in +5. So the main point of concern for this race is going to be our front left tire. So that thing is going to take the brunt of the abuse from this track, you know, because this is a clockwise circuit, a lot of medium speed corners. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, give myself some clean air, and we'll see how this goes. Keeping an eye on the Knicks right now. They're up by 7. We're halfway. Well, we're very close to the end of the third quarter. So if they can take it 2-0 by the for when they come back to the Garden, this will be good. Because it's actually pretty crazy how we've kind of had a resurgence in New York sports, but not so much on the men's side of things, you know? In recent years, our women's teams have been the most dominant. For example, we had for women's basketball, we had the New York Liberty win in like 2 seasons ago. Our women's football team, Gotham FC. We won the title last year. We won our version of the Champions League last season. The CONCACAF Women's League. We got invited. They got invited to the women's version of the Club World Cup that we had last summer for the men's side. You know, we were kind of disappointing in that tournament, but hey, it was the first of its kind. But yeah, our women's teams have won titles in the last 3 years. It's high time our men's teams get something in this market, you know? I refuse to acknowledge the title that Manchester City's baby brothers have won a couple years ago. Refuse to accept it. Yeah, unfortunately, both our men's football clubs here in the New York area, they're both satellite clubs of bigger clubs in Europe. You know, here on the blue side of things, Manchester City owns New York City FC. Oh, shit, this is gonna be a pain. Ah, damn it! I got blocked. This is why I like driving in clean air, so I don't have to deal with stuff like that. Thank you for leaving. Now, one thing I need to ask these guys, I never got any, like, actual clarity on this. I don't know if I'm allowed to use... Oh, shoot, that might be track limits. I don't know if I'm allowed to use the overtake... Oh, it is track limits. Damn, this thing is going to get disqualified this lap. Lap time deleted. Yeah, what I'm not quite sure about is this, are we allowed to use the push to pass on these cars? Because since we're using the super formulas, the SF23s, there's a push to pass system, but I don't know if we're allowed to use them. Because all my lap times, whenever I do this this series, I go without them. Because there was a different series that I did that prohibited the use of push to pass during quali. So I don't know if it's the same. Oh, we got the crash. All right. Let's see if we can get a proper lap going. Somebody's coming in behind me. All right. This one did not go too well, so just trying to get a clean lap going, man. Super crowded. See, here's the thing, right? I'm not entirely worried if I finish this far down the grid. I know my worth. I know I can do a lot better. So I know I have some pace on these guys, so I just gotta show it. A lot of people going into the pits, probably to get new tires. I probably will want to do the same after this. Unlike other games, though, we don't really have, like, track evolution isn't really a thing. How am I struggling with that turn now? I didn't have any problems with that during free practice. Hold on, am I going to be allowed to change my... Yeah, I'm gonna go into the pits and change my tires. I don't think I'll be allowed to change to serve my penalty through the pits. We'll see. Alright, I'm gonna lift off the throttle a bit. Shoot, I still gotta serve that penalty. Alright, but I get to serve it on my out lap, so it's not that big a deal. Alright, I'm gonna let this Peruvian driver through. I just want clean air behind me when I do my lap. All right, looks like Knicks are holding on. I think they're about to start the fourth quarter pretty soon. Let's see if we can improve on this P11 on the next lap. Thankfully, we still got 4 laps to make a difference. Yeah, shoot, okay. I might have to overtake this guy. Obstructed again. That's been the theme of this this qualifying session, just not being able to have a clean lap. Alright. Now that I've gone past him, let's see if I can get a proper lap going. Not really feeling that turn. There we go. P9. Have we got time for one more lap? Let's see if we can get something out of this one. Uh-oh. Alright, this will probably not be an improvement, but at least I got a decent time that's kind of close to my average. Oh, shoot. Because, yeah, I normally average around 123s, 120, high 122s. So... this is probably as good as it's gonna get. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Alright, still a 9-point lead for the Knicks. Love it. Oh, that felt careless. Offensive foul? Sorry, keeping an eye on the really keeping an eye on this game right now. I have it on. I actually have the audio on in one ear over here. I got an earbud into this. So I'm streaming it on my phone, so. Alright. Still got a minute though, so. Alright, most of the people that I've overtaken, I've beat on qualifying are the guest drivers, so to speak. So let's see how this goes. All I gotta do is just beat them and I'll be fine. Good steal by the Knicks. Nice. They're gonna have to recycle this. No easy points out of that steal. Sure fell? Out of bounds? Alright, looks like we're good though. Okay, so it's P10 for me. I'm gonna go mediums here, and we'll see how this goes in terms of how the deg works, and from there we'll see if we're gonna have to do a 1-stop or a 2-stop or whatnot. All right, but Kaiser, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Alright. So, what's about to happen is we're going to get a signal for a 5-minute break by the organizers, by the group, by the guys at MPM. Once I get that, yep, 5-minute drink P-Puff. Thank you for the follow, but I will have to take a small break right now. I'm going to take a 3-minute ad break. This is going to be like a 1 break for the entire race, okay? So, 3 minutes of ads will be playing, but don't worry guys, you're not going to be missing anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys in just a short bit for the Grand Prix. All right, back in a few.
Alright everybody, I'm back. Alright. We're still waiting on the race organizers to get the Grand Prix started. But just to catch you guys on everything, so we're joining our friends here at MPM Racing. Great community over on SimGrid, which is a great which is a website that you can go to sign up for free. You can get some community run leagues. And here we're just gonna see if we can get a good result in our Friday night F1 series. So it's about 90% of the race distance that the actual Barcelona Grand Prix, I guess we have to call it now. It's not the Spanish Grand Prix anymore. It's 58 laps. Zach does mention it is heavy damage. Our tire wear burns at, well, normal rate, but here's the thing. Alright, 2-minute warning. So, just like in real F1, we have to do a mandatory pit stop. And we have to change compounds. So, we can't just do like a medium, if it makes sense. So, we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna play it by ear. I'm gonna start out with the mediums, and then depending on how things goes, we'll go from there. Yep, tire type change required. We can't do a soft. We can't do a medium. I don't think the softs are gonna make much sense, to be honest, unless I try to do a 2-stop where, you know, I just do like a medium soft, but I'm probably gonna do medium hard. So, which is why I did a little bit of medium practice at the early part of the stream, but I don't know if it's gonna be fully there. Now, I know that I'm not exactly the quickest amongst the normal drivers on the grid, like the full-time competitors in this group. You know, I'm very much the slowest out of the guys. However, I do still want to try to be the best of the full-time guy, the worst of the best. Yeah, sorry, best of the rest, I want to say. You know, it's a long race, easy to turn one. Don't be a jag. All right, so it's gonna be a good start. And now we will have the overtake button available. So if I need to defend, if I need to push on, I'll use this. I'll use the overtake button sparingly, and we'll go from there. Now, fuel will not be an issue. It's just a case of make it to the end. So fuel does not burn. So I don't have to worry about like fuel saving. I don't have to worry about you know, engine modes, stuff like that. Just go flat out. Just protect the tires. All right. Let's see how this goes. Come on now. Let's go, Max. Let's start. Get us going. Come on. I don't think we had to reshuffle anybody, no? Alright. But right now, my goal, let's try to get to P8. If I can finish at P8 on the top half of the table, so to speak, that'll be considered a victory for me tonight. Alright. Because what I did on the last round, when we were at Montreal, at Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix, we started the race around like P14, around like 14th, 15th, and we were able to make it all the way to P6. So
for us, that was like a major result. So if I can tap into some similar magic here, you know, just keep the car safe, don't have any collisions or crazy crashes, I'll be good. So we'll see how this translates. So it's up to the organizers. We are waiting on Audrey. Okay. I have no idea what pinching one off means. Somebody's gonna have to tell me what that means. It's like when I like yawn super loudly, or if I sneeze super loudly, I want to make sure that's muted. I don't want to like kill anybody's ears, so bear with me if you hear like some weird tapping on that. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on the Knicks right now, but also, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do tomorrow though. So tomorrow's supposed to be the final round of Manufacturers Cup, but I'm probably gonna skip it. So most likely what I'm gonna be doing is I'll probably be doing Le Mans Ultimate, because we got a big update. Well, it's not really a big update, but we got a content update earlier this week, you know, and we got all the 2026 liveries. We got a free LMP car. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to do some daily races over there. Wanted to do the bronze dailies, because earlier this week on Monday we did a Gran Turismo stream where we won a race at Fuji. I wanted to see if I could do the same thing at Le Mans Ultimate, because that's the current daily race over there. And it's a similar length, it's 20 minutes, but GT3s rather than the GT1s that we were using here. We'll see how this goes. I want to see if I can get that done. Because I know tomorrow night's race is going to be on Bathurst, and I typically don't do that. Or no. What was I saying? It's a Nürburgring tomorrow night. That's right. Yep. Newbies, please be aware that this is a part of a year-long series for our group. If you're a back runner, please heed blue flags. Alright, I'm probably going to be one of those people that are going to have to heed blue flags, but I still want to try to be, I want to be competitive though. Here we go. Took a while, but we finally got there. Alright, it's going to be a standing start, so we got to be ready. Alright, so we're starting P10. Oops, sorry. Take some evasive action there. Also, I have to take into account the
We got a spinner. Bacon dance. That's one of the contenders. So we got beach there. I'm probably gonna get done for track limits. Yeah, that's understandable. Whoa, I got hit. Most importantly, no damage though. Alright, lift off a little bit so that way I can get some, so I can do less damage to the tires. Oh shoot! Mistake. Watch the rejoin. Watch the rejoin. That's not ideal. Oh, somebody's on the wall. Clutch overkill. That's our streamer. So, gained one back. A little bit wonky with that. These two guys I want to try to get past. .25.0, but I'm also thinking about the tire situation, you know? I don't know what compound everybody else is on, so there could be a tire advantage or disadvantage that I'm not taking into account. 124. Starting to get somewhere. Still a long way to go in this race, though. Alright, backed off a little bit. This first sector has always been my weakness at Barcelona. I can never get the angle and the momentum quite right. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm just gonna push this. Don't worry about the penalty. Don't worry about the track limit penalty. Shoot. Spurs have caught up. Now it's a 2-point game. 97-95. 3.5 to go. I wish I could pay attention a little bit more, but I'm in the middle of a race right now. Alright, let's see if I can catch up now. Alright, all tied. 2.5 to go. Alright, 2.3 to the car ahead. I need to try to catch up to this. Got a mistake from Twisted up ahead, so that's reeled him in a little bit. Ooh, here we go. I was headed to turn 1, but the exit was better for him.
Stay with them. All right, we have a DNF. I want to use up a little bit of overtake, but I don't want to use up too much, you know? Oh, he's off into the gravel. So that's a freebie. Alright, so close on the finals. Oh shoot, did I exceed the limits? Stewards, what do you say? Alright, they say I'm okay. So we're P10, we're back to our starting position. Yellow flag is about. Somebody must have had an incident. I'm trying to see where it is. Oh! Sebastian. He's out. The Peruvian that was at the back, Alejandro, he is also left. So this is kind of playing how I would expect it. You know, a lot of the guest drivers are kind of overdoing it. And as a result, they end up leaving. And it also helps me get further up. But I got a lot of work to do if I want to catch up to the Brazilian up ahead. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, that was Bacon Dance. He's a back marker. And he has a penalty. And he's a lap down. What happened to him? That's a shame. Oh, shoot. Spurs are up by 1. Less than a minute. Also, I've been catching up quickly on the Brazilian. We made like a second point 2. Now I'm curious to see which drivers are running on softs, because I would think that the soft runners, their tires are a lot worse at this time. Yeah, because I'm catching up Galileo like crazy right now. Like there are some bits here and there where they're catching up, or they're pulling away, but on the whole, I'm closing in. Yeah, 123.8. Everyone poos. One of the guys behind me that was chasing me, he was on softs. Makes me wonder if the soft tires are starting to give way for some of these guys. Oh, it's Bacon Dance. Didn't realize it was behind me. And that's one thing I really hope we get in the next Gran Turismo. I hope we get like a relative tracker. Not just like the interval tracker like we have on the top left of the screen. Don't get me wrong, it's useful and all, but I had no idea Bacon Dance was behind me and closing in like that. A relative tracker like in Assetto Corsa, iRacing, Le Mans, that would be super useful because it doesn't just tell us, you know, how far this opponent is, how far the person up front and behind. It tells us who, regardless of their position. So a relative timer would have told me that Bacon Dance was right behind me. A little bit of overtake to catch up. Alright. Soft tire runner in. Ah, Super Speedo. Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't raced him in a while. There we go. That's one position gained, but job's not done. Now we're starting to pull away. Super Speedo was like, I'm sorry, and he left. It's a shame. He's a good competitor to race against. He's one of the top rated drivers. I've raced him plenty times. But he's no joke too. He's one of the top drivers in the region. Cause I remember rating Turismo Leicester, you know, one of the top Gran Turismo players in our region, the top Canadian driver. and he was actively racing against Lester Super Speedo. So I'm just like, oh shoot, I race against this guy. He's going up against some of the top drivers in the continent. So I don't feel too bummed out when I lose to him. So. All right. From the looks of it, soft tires are lasting about 15 laps. I'm gonna keep an eye on the. I'm gonna have a look at the game once I get to the main straight. What are we looking at? Oh shoot! 105, 104 Nicks. 7.5 to go. All right. All right. So Max is closing in on me. He's 3.1 and closing in fast. If he catches up to me, I'm just gonna let him through. Because we're on completely different strategies, and I would rather not hold him up and let me do my thing. Because he's already taken a pit. Oh, Picky does again. What's going on, buddy? You've been off your game. The fact that I've overtaken him again. Oh, that sucks. Oh shoot! I wasn't paying attention, I nearly crashed! But the next one, they're 2-0 up. Whew. And they're taking this lead back to the garden. I think what is game 3? I think game 3 is Monday? I want to say Monday. But oh my goodness, wow. Knicks keep finding a way. I think they were down 12 at one point in the first half. But they've clawed it back. Oh shoot. That's not ideal. Trying to figure out who that is in front of me. Because that's not Zach ahead of me. Alright, another one of the soft runners behind me. Just gonna let... Like I said, I'm gonna let Max through because he's on a different strategy from me.
I would rather not fight and just do my thing. Because I still have to do my first stop. He's already made his first. Interesting dynamic that we got here. See, look. We're 20 laps in. All my tires are still pretty good, except for one glaring exception. Because all I gotta do, I think all I gotta do at this point is see how much tire life do I still have on my front left. That'll, once it gets to a pretty unsustainable point, that's when I will consider pitting. Shoot. Dirty air got me there. That felt so awkward. That's a back marker up ahead. Honestly, if I can make it to maybe lap 40, lap 45 maybe, on these tires, I'll switch to softs. I got a decent amount of tire life to deal with. Now Jack is ahead of me for position, but well, I'm gonna change my viewpoint to this so that way I can have my rear view mirror. Now that we got the 2 leaders out of the way, I can just do my thing. Oh, looks like they had a... Is there a bit of coming together? Oh shoot, did I veer too far to the left? Or sorry, too far to the right? Audrey's gone in. Alright. I think I'm okay for now. I can hear the screaming in the tires. We're hanging in there. So let's take stock of the situation. We're P8 right now. And "48 seconds to the next car behind me, so I don't have to worry too much. But for my theory, for my strategy, we're doing pretty well so far. Because my goal is to try to get to around like lap 35 to 50. Oh, sorry, 35 to 40. And then swap on to the soft tires. All I really want to do right now is build a bigger gap to Twisted behind, because we're directly facing each other for position, so. Hanging in there. Well, this is the type of race that I've been really hoping for, you know? Just calm, collected, nothing too crazy. Do my thing, avoiding all incidents. Just a clean race. Track limit penalties aside, you know? It's been pretty uneventful. We actually did get a chance to do some overtakes, so it's just not a case of, you know, overtake through the pits. It's not entirely, you know, war of attrition like it was in Canada. But it's these right-handers that I gotta be worried about. It's the strain that it's taking on the front left. So that's why I'm lifting off the throttle a little bit more, being a lot more conservative on the throttle going out. And I put the brake balance on the rear to put more emphasis on the rear tires.
hang it in there too. And we got a lot of clear air behind, so I don't have to worry about blue flags or anything like that. I can just do my thing. I don't have to step aside for anybody. I can really just push at this stage. Coming up on the halfway point of this race. So far so good. And the tires still look okay. I think I can go... Oh, shoot. I think I can go another... I can definitely go another 10 laps. Deterioration has departed. So another person behind. They're off. Alright, Snipes, one of the leading cars, has decided to go in, get some new tires. But I'm going to stick it out a little bit longer. He's on mediums as well, but... Now that I've seen what my tires are like, as well as the amount of life that the softs have on average, I'm really going to try to push for 40. Alright, where is that poor unfortunate soul? I'm going to move aside. Alright, another DNF. All these, all the guest drivers are not lasting long. And that suits me just fine. I do appreciate everybody who's stuck with me so far. I know a smaller group tonight, but hey, I understand. Come on, come on. Alright, lovely. Lap 30. Crazy long first stint that we're doing right now. Not gonna let the other people pitting off the mediums bother me. I'm still gonna keep going. Follow Aji for a little bit. Of course, I am a lap down, so I can't. Oh shoot! I think I got mixed up in some of its turbulence. All right, he's the only one that I really had to worry about for the immediate time. Don't have anybody to move aside for in the current moment. During my pit stop though, I gotta change my gotta put something away on my phone. I'm still streaming TV. Ooh, excuse me. Now the game is over. I've got local news in my ear. Alright. Tires are starting to feel it a little bit. Alright, Monday is game 3 for the Knicks. So I think it's Monday, then next Friday? Handling the traffic pretty well, but I think we got a couple of leading drivers coming up ahead, or rather behind, so I'm gonna have to deal with them at some point. Oh boy. Alright, tires are really starting to fall off for me. Not being shown blue flags yet, but there's going to be a couple people nearby in a short spate of time. Got the blue flag warning. I'm gonna try to do this. Oh shoot, that's a mistake on my end, but it's gonna mitigate my. I'm gonna step to the side. Oh, there's another car behind me. There's a third car.
Where is he? Never mind. I think that person that I was shown blue flags for, I think that one is at the pits. They were behind me and then they just disappeared. I've lost a little bit of time having to deal with those blue flags, so I've lost like a couple of seconds on the guy in P9. I want to see if I can get back up to like 52 plus seconds. Alright, we got another DNF. Galileo has departed. Who is that behind me? Is that Bacon Dance? If that is Bacon Dance, I'm gonna let him through. Oh shoot, I think he spun off again. I was just looking at the mirror and I'm like, wait. Yeah, it was Bacon Dance that was closing me down. That's why I wasn't being shown blue flags. Because he's like a lap or two down on me. But he's just having a miserable time with this race. Hanging in. Oh shoot, is that track limits? That was. I'm not gonna stress over it too much. Alright, Bacon Dance has gone into the pits again. Whew, I'm trying to stay awake. Alright. Four more laps until I'm in my pit window. Definitely not getting my best times at this stage. Make a quick fix to the sound. I don't have any unnecessary noise in my right ear. Also, having an earbud under your earphones, while it is convenient if you want to have like extra, you know, you want to like jam out to music and stuff like that, or have a conversation, it actually
It's starting to hurt my ears. As comfortable as these HyperXs are, it's not. It doesn't last forever. Comfort doesn't last forever. Okay, 47 to the car behind. I have somebody coming up on the main straight behind me. Probably a leader. Hanging in there. I appreciate everybody who's stuck with me so far. I know this is a bit of a quiet race. It's a long one, but hey, 20 laps to go. Back off. Give Hedgehog some speed into the first turn. Also wanted to minimize my my gap. I don't know if I can see the track limits with any of those turns, but hanging in there. All right, entering the pit window. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Go in lap 43. Because the front left is really starting to do a number on my pace, so... Dance is going to the pits yet again, so he's not gonna be a contender for P9 at this stage. So hashtag not last for me. I'm guaranteed to gain a position in the grand scheme of things. Wait, what? Why is he on inters? I know you're goofing off and all, but hey. Alright, 2 more laps. So that way I can get 15 laps of... life out of this after the softs. Because I am starting to lose some time. Actually, at what point do I consider going in now? Hey, how's it going? Glad to have you on board tonight. Alright, blue flags. You know what? The drop-off in times is starting to become pretty significant. I think I'm going to go in. Do my mandatory stop now. Alright. Quick guy, hope you're doing well. Just check something on my phone real quick. Okay, sorry about that. All right, the Coon Talk is now in Forza. Ah, lovely. And Mameen over on the YouTube chat, thank you for coming by. Hope everything is doing well. Hope you guys are all doing alright. Maruzinski time! Okay, lovely. I still need to get Forza 4. Forza Horizon 6. I'm probably gonna get it like next week or something. Let the leader through. Oh, sorry, that was Jack. So my big 40-second advantage is gone on the tastefully named Everyone Poos. So he's my direct competition right now, so I need to try to build a gap on him. Now, I should have a tire advantage. Oh, shoot. You know what? I don't think I need the rear view mirror at this point. Let's just focus on getting back on hood cam. What was that, truck limits? Alright, I'm like really focused right now. I want to try to build this gap on the guy. Oh, there's gonna be an ad break coming in a few minutes. I'm sorry, guys. If you're watching on the YouTube side of things, you're totally fine. Don't worry about it. But Twitch peeps, sorry guys, ad break coming. All right. I got 14 laps, and I need to see if I can handle this. If I can protect this 13-second lead.
Oh, we got a spin. Bacon dance. What are you doing? Alright. 123.3. This is good. Now I'm starting to pull away. I'm already starting to see some... red on my softs. But... I should be good. Also, I'm at least 1 or 2 laps down. So I won't need to do all 58 laps. I'll probably get the checkered at around lap 56. And I got a lot of clean air to work with. Because the front runners are closer to my competition than they are to me. So they might get slowed down by blue flags. I'm starting to pull away. This feels good. 18 seconds. It's already 12:07. But yeah, after this race, I'm going straight to bed. But again, thank you for everybody that's come by so far, even though it's getting a little bit late on our end. It's already 12:07 local time, or it's past midnight. Bacon dances on the wets for some reason. I don't know why. But he's decided, nope. This ain't fun. 123.1. Ooh, and he might come out as, please tell me he's gonna come out and keep going. Because he could be, he could have been an obstacle for everyone poos. Pushing 21 seconds now. This lead is starting to grow. Oh, this is great.
push. Alright, 123.9. We're almost at 20 and a half for gap to P9. Realistically speaking, that's the only battle we really need to concern ourselves with right now. Oh shoot. That's a careless track limit penalty for me. Slight setback, but we're still good. At 124.4, not my best lap on this compound. But I'm still 21.7 ahead, and we got about 9 laps to go. Although, given my situation, blue flag wise, I want to hazard I have maybe 7 laps left, and the tires should be able to survive 7 more laps at the very least. I also doubt that any of the guys ahead of me are going to DNF. So... but it looks like ad break is over, hopefully. In there. Almost 25 seconds to the car behind. Alright, lap 50. Possible 6 laps left. Yellow up ahead. Hopefully that is something good for me. No, it doesn't look like it. I was kind of hoping it was a crash out. Probably got to serve a penalty for that. Track limits. Yeah. Who's that? If that's Bacon Dance, that's just a false alarm. Oh, yeah, that was Bacon Dance. Hopefully I don't get another second added to that. Almost 24 seconds. Should be able to handle. Should be able to handle this. Don't let the 8 out of 10 fool you. This was a much higher... This was a fully populated grid at the start of this race. Oh no. That's exactly what I did not want. Understeering off. Not ideal.
Alright, it wasn't too big a hit. I'm still 20 seconds, give or take, ahead. Push. Alright. I gained some of that time bank. We're now about 22 seconds ahead. Let's get this going. Come on. 22. Yellow flag up ahead. I don't know who. Dance again. Well, he's ghosted, so he doesn't have any. There's no danger in running into him, so we'll be okay if we run into him again. Looking at 23.2. About 5 more laps. All right. Spectator coming into the room. And he departs, so no harm, no foul. Nothing of value was lost. Alright, we can dance the pits once more. Times has he gone in? It must be like around 5 at this stage. Alright, 4 more laps to go. Gotta stay awake. I know when I'm getting close to knocking out. Like my eyes get drowsy. I start to feel like a what to say? My speech starts to slur a little bit. Not like it's just about my thoughts start to trail off. I'm trying to keep my eyes open and alert, so these MPM races really do take a toll on you physically, so it's important that we're ready for that. Now, I got a chance to look at the expected daily races for next week. I will not be surprised if Daily Race C
is Group 1. I think because it's going to be Interlagos. It's going to be Racing Mediums, Racing Hards as the expected compounds. But yeah, don't be surprised if it's Group 1 in anticipation of the big patch next week. That is probably what's going to happen. Truck limits probably. Yeah, they're okay. Alright, thank you, stewards. Alright, it's gonna get a little bit wonky for me. I got... Oh shit, I did not want to do this POV. Alright, it is final lap for me. Okay. Picky Dance, what the hell are you doing? You just went the complete opposite direction. Alright, when I get to the flattening of this turn. Bro, Zach, go! Whatever. I'm finishing the race. Alright, anyway. P8. Alright. Oh. And yeah, I'll finish 2 laps down. And I know we're gonna have to wait until this timer goes out because Baking Dance is not gonna make it to the line, so yeah. Oh no, okay, lovely. Okay, so we went from P10 to P8. Decent result. Alright. Oh, my back. Oh, okay. Wow. Wow, my back. Yeah. Phew. Alright. Anyway. Okay. But anyway, let's give Max a... So the race is playing against some time. Show them some love. Save that. Alright. I'm gonna take this result. P8 is not bad. You know, last of the full timers, but still mid-tier. So, you know, sometimes I get to steal a position from one of the top guys. So, yeah, I'm okay with this. Right, let's leave it at that. Phew. Okay, so it is 12:30 local time. It is time to hang it up for the night. Who is live at the moment? I'm actually gonna send you guys over to my friend Zeno. He's playing some Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment. I think he's doing the Yu-Gi-Oh collection. That's on Steam. It's like all the old handheld Yu-Gi-Oh games, some of the old PS1 titles, some of the Game Boy titles. So yeah, let's give him a knock. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow. We'll play some Le Mans Ultimate. You know, we'll do some dailies over in Fuji over there, and from there I'll see if I can do something on Sunday though. No promises, but I'll definitely do a stream tomorrow. Okay, guys, take care. Have a good night.